Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. So today is Sunday, slow day, but I also publish on Rumble. I don't know, I'm still waiting for the sync to happen regarding the 4K content. I have to confirm if they allow me like a free account if it syncs, because since the 14, which basically it was the last video, not 4K. I don't know what's happening there. But yeah, and extra support can go PayPal directly or Patreon. I still need to work a little bit more on the tiers there for extra support there. And from time to time I tweet some stuff here and there. But yeah, let's get going. Not much to cover, so it's going to be a quick one. Seems that AMD is going to launch another GRE GPU, which is the Golden Rabbit edition, mainly because this year is not the Golden Rabbit, it's the Rabbit year in the Chinese calendar. And supposedly this one, the 6750 GRE, it's supposedly going to compete with a 4060 Ti in terms of performance, and it's going to be around the same price as the 4060. However, there is some caveats, given that this is not official information. This kind of leaks supposedly from Easton, which is like a brand. I think I'm not sure if it is a Chinese brand itself, but it's very popular on the Chinese market. They manufacture both AMD and NVIDIA GPUs. Interestingly enough, this comes from a little enemy pigeon. Funny name there. Supposedly he came out with this information, and supposedly this will come with the Easton kind of a thing here. There are two possibilities for this GPU, which one of them it's the 6750 XT. I said right, 6750 XT. Yeah. It's got a full Navi 22 die, so fully unlocked, and it's supposedly to give her around kind of the thing of the performance. It might get between that GPU or like the performance of the 6800 non-XT, which has the Navi 21 version XL die. It should be going around between this kind of performance in terms of this gap. As you can see, there is a little gap here. The thing is, supposedly it can have the full Navi 22 with like extra clocks or something like that, or they can have like a cut down Navi 21 with some cores that are like defective Navi 21 to compensate the fact that it's going to be better than the Navi 22. There's been a lot of things focused on China market. I think it's expanding to a certain degree in terms of gaming. That's why they are doing a lot of this GRE stuff here, and probably there is also some things regarding like extra like supply that they had on the backlog. And they basically didn't know what to do with it, and basically I think it will serve a purpose here, because the GRE stuff, and even like for example in terms of the CPU side, the 7500F also from AMD, they are basically DIY market for China, and I'm not sure if the GPU, the 7900 GRE, also is for system integration, for system integrators, in the global market. But I will assume so, given if they don't sell too much on the Chinese market. I think they will expand that to the global market, even if it is in system integrators. Very curious, because basically if we can achieve to a certain degree a 4060 Ti performance with a 4060 price, which at the moment the 4060 lineup is basically selling around the MSRP, so 4060 around $400 no sorry to $300. Yeah, the 4060 like 8 gigabytes normal, and the 4060 Ti 8 gigabytes $400, and the 16 gigabytes $500, which is a crime against gaming GPUs. but if it stands around that price, there is not the assurance that if it goes with I think any of these ones, if it gets like the 12 gigabyte VRAM option, it's already way better. If of course in this kind of performance tier, I think the like ray tracing performance, it's not worth it, because they're lower tier in terms of performance. But I think still the FSR 2 might get some advantages here and there, mainly because of the VRAM, because in some cases even the 4060, you try to put the LSS to a certain degree, it might get demand a little bit more VRAM out of the GPU, which is one of the things I don't think NVIDIA thought very well about that. The fact that when you have like the marginal hardware capabilities to run the software, when you start to, instead of how do I put it, to get the performance in hardware specs instead of software, it will, in this case with NVIDIA, when you start turning on the LSS with RT and everything, the VRAM will be very occupied. You need good VRAM bus there, memory bus, to handle that software running through the GPU. So it's you saw in some games already with the 4060, even with the 4060 Ti, even at 1080p, when you start, for example, implementing like ray tracing, you have basically to put the LSS for that to not run out of capacity. This is the 8 gigabyte capacity, of course. But even with more VRAM, it doesn't increase the performance. Basically, it gives you more space room to deal with that extra VRAM necessity to run the software itself from NVIDIA. And also by the fact that people tend to forget the 4060 Ti, even though it has more memory here to run the thing, it doesn't increases the memory bus width, which is it gets more expensive to do that way than even just put more chips there and increase the memory bus width. When you it's a little bit like Apple of the computers. They want to chip out the best they can on terms of hardware, and then just sell you software and tell you that it's the best thing in the world. But this is very happens specifically on the lower hand of the RTX. But I think it might be a good one, given that it is like low price, around $300. Unfortunately, it's going to be supposedly China only, if it is like a GRE, because it's that basically the special edition for China. But it's good to see that there are still ways for you to get around and get a decent price GPU for this kind of price bracket here around the $300. You can still get pretty good deals here. Doesn't mean that you have to go for the latest GPU, in this case the 4060s or the 7600 even from AMD. They are not the best ones, because previous generation there are still some stock. Usually it's the 6600 XT or even the 6650 XT. They are pretty good at around that value, and in some cases even the Intel one, the 770, the 16 gigabytes variants usually goes around 330, but sometimes they're doing some deals, they're being aggressive with the pricing. It goes around $300, give or take here and there. I think they are good values, and exploring those possibilities if you are on a tight budget regarding those in terms of GPUs, I think it's a good alternative here. But yeah, regarding hardware, basically this is it. We got also from AMD, supposedly they are going to release new chipset driver. There is not a lot of official information. Supposedly from the files here that people were digging through, supposedly it's going to enhance the 3D cache stuff in terms of optimization. We know that especially on the newer 3D cache from the 7,000 CPUs, for example, the 7950X3D, the 7900X3D, and the 70, I think they are free, and the 7800X3D. But those two, the higher ends, they use two CCDs chiplets, so it's basically chiplets, and the 3D cache it's only in one of them because of how cores work. If one is, I think it's 12 and another 16, so in one of the chips it's got 8 and then plus 8 on the other one, and the other is 6 and 6, and just one of them has the 3D cache. And in terms of Windows scheduler, it's a little bit tricky to prioritize which ones will utilize the 3D cache, because not every application gets boosted with the 3D cache. When they have, supposedly this is one of the things they're going to aid here, basically enhancing the management system regarding that utilization between the CCDs. But yeah, there is no official information, but if it is so, as people are speculating here, it's way better, because a lot of people, if they to make sure that they use the 3D cache for gaming, they just switch one of the CCDs, and that will lose all the purpose of the fact that you have like a 16 core CPU. But yeah, hopefully it will get some performance optimizations regarding that thing there, the 3D cache. But yeah, this is basically anything related. Now, there is not a lot of gaming news. Everything is preparing themselves for Gamescom. Only one thing here that I like to mention is Baldur's Gate 3 guides from Fextralife. They've been doing an excellent job here. They're posted almost every day, sometimes twice a day, regarding a lot of guides. And of course they have their wiki page here. I will leave both of the pages, the links of the pages, the guides and the wiki from the Baldur's Gate 3. I think if you're playing the game, I think it's well worth for you to check out, especially the wikis if you're stuck in some kind of a thing or you want to achieve a certain aspect of the game. I think it's well worth it, because they're very comprehensive on their guides, and the wikis are always very well curated, so usually there is no mistakes there regarding the wiki stuff. I am going to wrap up for today with some gaming deals. Cyberpunk 2077 is still on discount, 50% off, and also if you want to buy the Phantom Liberty DLC, or basically pre-purchase. Oh my god, my English is not good today. So purchases before it launches. Oh my god, it's Sunday, it's lazy Sunday. 39% off, $55 give or take. It got around one day by the time this the video is published. Also we got Dying Light, the first one, 80% off, so $10 with basically definitive edition, is like the Game of the Year edition kind of a thing here. I think it's an excellent deal here. If you like the parkour, it's still very, the mechanics are very solid still, even though it's an older game. I think it's well worth it. We got also Blasphemous, one of those that I like to try out. You got, in this case, a demo for you to try. It's like a Metroidvania kind of a thing here, with Dark Souls combat. Has also pretty good reviews, very dark on the themes here, with a lot of Baroque inspirations in terms of the designs here. Very dark. I like this kind of games here. It's 75% off, and I think you can buy a bundle with the no, you can't. The second one I think is also 10% off, but it's not that much. But if you like the first one, I will advise you to play the second, because people are letting know that it's better than the first one, which is always a good sign here. And lastly, we got Forza Horizon 5, still a deal. Got the free, got still one day to play it for free, to try it out basically, and then you got 50% off in all the bundles basically. This one I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is 56 only the add-ons. It seems to be only the add-ons. The premium edition already has the premium add-ons, from what I understood. For the price difference seems that way. So basically you can buy the ultimate edition per se of the game with everything included by the price of a base standard game if it doesn't have the discount. At least is my perception of this one. I like this kind of racing games, so you can chill a little bit, drive around fast cars and do some silly stuff on the maps itself. And basically this is it, guys, for today. I hope you are enjoying this. I also appreciate a little bit of feedback regarding audio quality and video quality, because I'm trying to still tweaking on some stuff here, especially on the video part on the 4K, trying to mess around mainly with bitrate because of the quality. I don't want to estimate the quality to not exceed too much on terms of the file size too much, so it gets an eternity to get uploaded, and then to for sure there is some aspects on the optimization inside the servers YouTube to put it in 4K, to enhance it to 4K. But yeah, any kind of feedback is appreciated. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So till then, Kunamy Master out.